All right, folks, thanks for checking out the video. I want to talk today about the debate that took place tonight, September 10th, 2024, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Now, this debate had been anticipated since Kamala Harris became the presumptive and eventual Democrat Party nominee. Now, we remember Donald Trump debated Joe Biden back in June, and that did not go very well for Joe Biden. And soon after that, he was out of there, at least as the candidate. Um, First off, right off the top, the story of this debate was neither Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. It was the moderators, David Muir and Lindsay Davis of ABC News. They were terrible. Okay, now at least the moderators at the first debate back in June between Biden and Trump were fairly even keeled at least. We know they're in the tank for the Democrats, but they at least played it pretty neutral. That was not the case tonight. They were constantly quote unquote fact checking Trump, never fact checking Kamala Harris. They were following up with Kamala and moving on when Donald Trump was trying to make points. So as a viewer, I didn't learn anything from this debate. Um, Another thing I noticed is throughout the debate, if you saw it, Kamala Harris was just constantly making these weird facial expressions and putting her hand on her chin. I don't know what that was about. That was obviously intentional. It was planned. I guess when you saw the split screen and you saw Trump talking and Kamala Harris making all these silly facial expressions, to me it just made her look unserious. I guess he was trying to do that to discredit Trump, but I don't think it had that effect um, at all. Okay, now again, I didn't learn anything from this debate that I didn't know going in. Um, Kamala Harris lied about her growing up quote unquote middle class when and this would have been something that you would think if the moderators were going to fact check her on that they would, but they did not. That she actually grew up fairly well off in a very I guess ritzy area of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Okay, so that was a lie right there. Her mother was a prominent intellectual there. She made a really good living. Kamala Harris never wanted for anything in her life. Okay, she grew up her whole life well off, but she tries to play herself off as middle class. At least with Donald Trump, he doesn't pretend to be something that he's not. He is who he is, and he's proud to be who he is. Kamala Harris, well, not so much. She has to be phony to try to connect with people. And I didn't come away from this with one position that Kamala Harris has that's any clearer to me than it was going into the debate. Okay, is she for fracking? Is she against it? I guess she was against it before she was for it. I don't know. The moderators didn't really follow up on any of this. And right out of the gate, the first question that they asked her basically is, what do you say to people, or are people better off than they were 4 years ago? And she didn't answer the question. So that, you think that would have been a good one to follow up on? Are your finances better off than they were 4 years ago? Um, are houses more affordable now? Interest rates, insurance, food, gas, crimes up. I mean, everything's pretty much gone to hell in the last 4 years, and you have Kamala Harris pretending like all of a sudden she's going to do something different. She's not going to do anything different. She would be another stooge president, as Joe Biden has been, just allowing all the advisors, all the agency heads, and so forth to actually call the shots, and she would just be, like I said, a figurehead. Whereas Donald Trump would actually be in charge, especially in a second term, especially not having to worry about running for reelection. Um, I really think that him and JD Vance, along with assists from RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, and so on, would really be able to go in there and at least make a run at getting this country back on track and getting the federal government at least pared down as much as would be possible in one presidential term. So, what'll be the fallout from this debate? I mean, did this really change anybody's mind? I don't think so. I don't think in any way that this will fundamentally change the trajectory of the race. Now, with the exception of Donald Trump's debate this year against Joe Biden, the media is always going to say that the Democrat wins. They're always going to show you polling data that shows that the Democrat wins. They're never gonna give the Republican candidate any due, any respect, especially Donald Trump. Especially Donald Trump. Okay, so expect to see that. Expect to see Kamala Harris. Expect to see polls coming out that show her, all of a sudden getting a surge in support. But tune all that out. Don't worry about that. Okay. Remember when she got a bounce after she first became the candidate, and now Donald Trump's leading again. So I expect the same thing to happen in the wake of this debate. Again, as a viewer, we didn't learn anything. The story was the moderators, and the moderators should be the last thing that people are talking about in a seriously executed debate. But again, that wasn't the case. So, anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.